The Old Testament gives some hints of the relationships in the Godhead, such as in Daniel chapter 7 verses 13 to 14 and Genesis chapter 14 verse 18. But the spiritual depth of those words may not have been fully revealed until we read John chapter 1 verse 14, which says, "The Word became flesh and dwelt among us." It is clear from John chapter 1 verse 1 that there were two beings who were called God in the beginning. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. Although the Old Testament also has references to God the Father in Genesis chapter 1 verse 26, chapter 14 verses 18 to 20, Psalm chapter 45 verse 7, and Daniel chapter 7 verse 13, the Word was the spokesman, the member of the God family whom the patriarchs, prophets, and righteous kings talked to, walked with, and obeyed. It was the Word who appeared to and taught Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, who spoke with Cain and Abel, who walked with Enoch and Noah, and who appeared to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Moses. We know this because of Yeshua's own words. In John chapter 5 verse 37, Yeshua said, "And the Father himself who sent me has testified of me. You have neither heard his voice at any time nor seen his form." John emphasizes this same point in John 1:18 and again in 1 John chapter 4 verse 12, stating that no one has seen God at any time. So Yeshua said there was a member of the Godhead whom no one had ever seen or heard. On the other hand, Yeshua, the Son of God, was the one through whom the creation was made, who talked to Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and who was the light of men. This can be referred in John chapter 1 verses 3 to 4, and in Genesis chapter 3 verses 8 to 10. The Bible also describes Yeshua's involvement with Abraham, Moses, and David. It can be referred in John chapter 8 verses 56 to 58, chapter 5 verse 46, and in Matthew chapter 22 verses 41 to 45. But we do not know exactly how much the patriarchs, prophets, and righteous people knew of the relationships in the Godhead. We do not know what God revealed and what he kept secret. They did know that the God of Abraham was their rock and redeemer, the one who delivered the Israelites from their Egyptian bondage, which is found in Exodus chapter 17 verse 6, Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 15, and in Psalm chapter 95 verse 1. But did they realize that the rock that followed them, which is referred in 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 4, was the Messiah, the Word who became flesh, the Son of God?